I guess you could say kind of like a movie. What happened was we were going down the freeway, and there was like 3 or 4 modded cars kind of going in the same direction. My first car was a 91 Integra LS. I remember him like hitting a corner really hard, and we got onto the freeway ramp, and there was cops like flying by. So I don't know if they were after us, but they flew by the opposite direction. We got away. We went up on the freeway. That Integra actually got stolen, so I ended up pretty much gutting it. And when they stole it, they cut up the carpet. The seats were all cut up, and it was a clean Integra too. Oh yeah, I picked it up for $3,500.
$3,500 a year ago too?
It was sitting in someone's yard, just collecting dust, and it looked like he didn't care about it. So I ended up asking him, and he was like, "Oh," I was like, "Hey, like, are you willing to sell it? It's just sitting there." I gave him a call, and he offered me $10,000 cash.
What?
To me, everyone's car and everyone's design or build is their art piece. I don't know. I guess at that moment, I realized, like, dang, seeing the cars that were all modified and stuff, I was kind of like, this is kind of what I want to do.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dare to Drive podcast. I'm your host, Pete, and today we have Jay with his Mazda Miata. So say what's up, Jay.
How you doing?
All right, so so let's just get straight into it. This is gonna be our first episode. We're gonna call it like a driver to driver. You're gonna be that first driver, and obviously I'll be that second driver right there. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, like, whatever you want to tell us. Like, what is you at the end of the day? Tell us a little bit.
What is me? Oh, my name's Jay, and
Yeah.
I've always had a passion for cars and stuff ever since I was little. It is a little difficult now because I have kids and stuff, so a lot of the effort and time got pushed aside more than it used to. But
Right.
the passion's there, so you keep trying, and you work and try to succeed, and at the same time being a dad, you got to mix time.
Yeah, 100%.
I try to get my son to do different things. Like everyone has that whole story where their dad was holding the flash, like they tell you to hold the flashlight for him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I try to be that dad without the yelling.
Good.
I try to get him to organize. Yeah, I try to get him to organize like the tools or something, and we try to make a family thing out of it. It's not just me.
Yeah, it's respectable right there for sure. I respect it. But yeah, let's just go straight into it. Tell me about like what got you into cars, personally, right there.
Pretty much, like as a young kid, like a young being 4 or 5, I always had cars. Little Hot Wheels or NASCARs, or just little metal diecast things. And my dad was more of he didn't think, I guess, like racing or anything like that was an actual sport. He was old school. He was a professional boxer, and
Oh, really?
pretty much, yeah, he was a pro boxer in 1975. So I grew
Oh,
up with
wow.
boxing at a very young age, but he never considered racing. But I guess, like, since he didn't consider it, I mean, me playing with my toys wasn't important to him. But pretty much, I grew up with most kids are growing up with like Initial D and cartoon shows like that or animes like that.
Yep.
I liked Speed Racer when I was a kid. Speed Racer was what was on TV, right?
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
yeah, it's old, but pretty much as I got older, I had a friend of mine help me purchase my first car. My first car was a 91 Integra LS.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it. It was my buddy's like first car. At one point, so I purchased one I found it in a swap meet for like
Really?
$1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, so I picked it up. It was stick shift. I didn't know how to drive yet, so we went and picked it up, took it for a drive and stuff. And my buddy was driving because I didn't have a license or anything yet. I was kind of someone who kind of took a while, to get things kind of organized. I wasn't like the first one to get a license. As soon as I hit 18, I did, but nothing earlier than that. And Pretty much, it started off with him driving my car. I was in the passenger seat. Um, we were coming back from Long Beach late at night or something, and I think there was like an IS 300 or something like that. And I remember we were racing, which probably we shouldn't have been doing, but he was driving. So we started racing down the street, and it kind of got the blood flowing. I was a little more, I guess, like I freaked out a little bit, but I kind of liked it. I was like, dang, this is kind of
Right.
cool.
That adrenaline.
Um, you know, adrenaline pretty much. And then I remember him like hitting a corner really hard, and we got onto the freeway ramp, and there was cops like flying by. So I don't know if they were after us, but they flew by the opposite direction, and we got away. We went up on the freeway,
Oh snap.
and yeah, I know, right? That's pretty intense. And then once we got on the freeway, it was almost like I guess you could say kind of like a movie. What happened was we were going down the freeway, and there was like three or four modded cars kind of going in the same direction. We were in a little bit of traffic. Of course, my Integra was still stock because I had just purchased it. And I don't know. I guess at that moment I realized, like, dang, seeing the cars that were all modified and stuff, I was kind of like, this is kind of what I want to do. And yeah, pretty much it started from there. I had my 91
Sweet.
Integra. Yeah, I didn't really mod it well. I was kind of starting, and I kind of looked it up, and I think
Mhm.
at the time, like JDM was a big thing, so it was more about finding rare parts, like collecting more than anything. And
Right,
then
right.
I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine who would go. He would go up the mountain because I live close to the Azusa Canyon, and I went up one night with him, and just cruise or whatever. And he was gone after the first two or three corners, like just gone. And yeah, that's when I kind of started getting into more, I guess, like understanding what driving really was, what skills
Okay.
are behind driving and stuff like that. I got more interested after that, and that's kind of when
Okay,
my
for
build took
sure.
off, where I started building it. Um, that Integra actually got stolen, so I ended up pretty much
Oh
gutting
no.
it, and yeah, when they stole it, they cut up the carpet, the seats were all cut up, and it was a clean Integra too.
Oh
They left it
no.
on
Yeah.
Steelies, with flat tires. At least Steelies. At least it wasn't on brick.
Oh snap. Right. Shoot.
Yeah, at least. But after that, I guess like after seeing my buddy go that fast down the mountain and kind of getting my car stolen, and I guess the mix of both, kind of made me want to take the build a little more serious. So I gutted the car, and I started kind of going for like a track build or a more spirited driving build.
Okay,
Um,
for sure.
so that was my Integra, and that's pretty much what took off everything else. And then I had a few cars that followed. I had an FRS. The WRX I'm in right now is my daily. And then
Okay.
just recently I picked up the Miata, I think about a year ago. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned like the car got stolen, your first car, the Integra, right? Whatever happened to it?
Yeah.
Like you got rid of it or what happened there?
Um, After it got stolen and I started gutting it and tampering with it a little bit, pretty much like everything else, like life hits. And I needed something
Yeah.
like practical that I could take to work, and I didn't have to worry too much
Okay.
about it. The Integra had over like 200 and something thousand miles, so I had to sell it, and I ended up buying
Mhm.
FRS.
Okay. And was that ever like
Mhm.
modified too, or the FRS?
Yeah, so I have like a real bad addiction. So so the FRS started getting modded, and I love the FRS. Like I know there's people that don't like it. There's people that really like it. I was one of the
Mhm.
few or the many that actually liked it. I love the FRS. It was fun. Lightweight, fun car to drive. Probably not
Mhm.
fast in a straight line, but it was definitely fun to drive.
Yep. Yep.
And then my son was born, so I had to get rid of that, and I bought the WRX, which I'm in right now.
Okay. Awesome. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool right there. As for the WRX, I mean, you want to tell us a little bit about that too? Like your daily right there, you said?
Yeah, at one point it was starting to be a little more serious in the daily.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I remember.
I had Yeah, I had the a lot of the suspensions done on it still. I do have a Cusco 1.5 way LSD in it, um, and a bunch of suspension goodies. Like if you go under it, you'll see all kinds of colors. I got
Yeah.
anywhere from like Cusco, SPL. Uh, I'm not sure. I forgot. I think the sway bars were ABAC. So just a little mix and match of everything in there. Um, I mean, it's a fun car. I like it, but again, after I picked up the Miata, uh, it doesn't compare to. Oh, I can't even say. I'm not going to compare it and get into like a argument, but but I would like to say, I guess everyone has their own driving style, right? Or any or
Yeah,
preference.
100% right there.
Um, I think leaving the FRS and then hopping into the WRX. WRX is definitely a fun car, but I think what suits me or what I prefer is like lightweight, fun
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, so
That's
okay.
just my
No,
preference.
100%, yeah. Okay, for sure. So, I mean, how long have you had the Miata? Like,
The Miata I purchased last year
okay.
January,
So yeah, about to be a
so
year.
about a
Okay, for
year.
sure. Nice.
Mhm.
So you would compare that similar to like the FRS, or how does it compare to those two?
Yeah, compared to the FRS, I would say
Yeah.
they're close in the way you drive them and kind of the overall
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
But I do prefer the Miata just because the cable throttle and it's more
Hmm.
raw. I guess it's an older car. I think you get to feel the road a little
Okay.
more.
I mean, have you had like any issues with the Miata so far, or luckily nothing yet?
Um, no, honestly, nothing
Yeah,
yet.
that's good.
I picked it up. It was pretty much stock, and I haven't really modified the engine in any way. It's still
Okay.
stock, but with 114,000 miles, and the only thing I had to replace was like the EGR valve, just so I don't have a check
Okay.
engine light.
What year is it again? It's a
Yeah,
98,
this one's a
99.
99,
Okay. Okay, sweet.
99.
I mean, that's not bad for the mileage right there. That's pretty good right there. That's wild.
Oh yeah, I picked it up for $3,500.
3,500 a year ago too.
Yep, 3,500 a year ago, and it was I just found it on a delivery for because I work for Home Depot. I do
Right.
deliveries to
Okay.
houses, and it was sitting in someone's yard just collecting dust, and it looked like he didn't care about it. So I ended up asking him, and he was like, "Oh," I was like, "Hey, like, are you willing to sell it? It's just sitting there." He's like, "Yeah, I'll probably sell it for 3,500." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be right back tomorrow." And I
Hopped
went,
on it quick.
I went to the bank, and I went. Oh yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna find anything
That's
like it
wild.
for that price.
Especially nowadays, prices for all the cars are just skyrocketing. It's wild right there.
Oh yeah, I had a note put on my car yesterday actually. I guess someone wanted to try to buy the Miata from me,
Really?
and yeah, I gave him a call because I was curious, and I guess I didn't want to be rude either, so
Mhm.
I gave him a call, and he offered me 10,000 cash.
What?
Um,
Damn.
yeah, I know, right? But like I said, it's kind of my son's car, so I
Mhm.
asked him, and he doesn't want to get rid of it. So we're gonna stick with the Miata,
Good, good.
and we're gonna hand it down to him when he gets older. But he did promise me he's gonna buy me a Porsche or an RX-7 when he gets older.
Okay. Okay, there
So,
we go. There we go.
oh yeah,
That's a good trade right there.
yeah, I gotta make some kind of trade. Yeah.
There we go. I mean, let's talk about what modifications you have done to your car too. I know you've done a lot right there.
Oh man. So to the Miata, I guess a lot of it, like I said, I kept the engine stock. I don't really want to mess with it. The issues with California and everything.
No,
At least for the
100%.
moment. Maybe when I get a
Yeah.
little more money, we'll start to tinker with that. But I mean, right now, a lot of it was just kind of maintenance. We switched the top out. It had originally a tan top. We switched it. It had too many tears in it. There was a lot of rust that had to be cleaned out. Um, and then after that, mostly suspension. I have the Inky 92s on it. Suspension wise, or I went with Flying Miata springs with Coney Yellows, subframe brace, and pretty much everything underneath you could think of. I started kind of tinkering with already.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome. So you try to
Yeah,
keep it just strictly like driver's car right there, huh? Just all suspension,
yeah, I just
driver
like to
mods right
have.
there, pretty much the feel.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, like 50% of it is because of California, and the other 50% is like kind
Yeah,
of I want to be able to drive it. Once the motor
yeah,
goes, then that we're on a whole different page, and we'll see what happens to it.
no, 100%. So, you did mention that you go to like the canyons and everything. What canyons do you usually hit? You mentioned Azusa. Do you go to any other ones or?
Azusa, I've been to Angeles, GMR. I've been to Ortega a few times, but and not much after that. Um, but like I have a, I am older now, so I don't really kind of, I don't push the car like I used to or anything like that. I mostly cruise,
Right.
to be honest with you.
Okay.
And
That's respectable for sure.
then yeah, again, because I am getting older, I have my kids. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They're number one right now, so I wouldn't want to risk anything that I don't need to risk. I do want to track eventually, but that's probably a little later on the line.
Okay, for sure. What tracks would you want to hit up in the future?
Well, I was looking at Button Willow, Willow Springs for sure,
Yep, yep.
and I think honestly I might start small, maybe Apple Valley, just to kind of get my feet wet,
Yeah, no, 100%.
and then go from there.
Good, good. I mean, do you have any like future plans with the car at all? You said you wanted to do engine mods, maybe.
Um, I think a little later on the line, like I said, once I save up enough money and I know it's got 114,000 miles on it, so I'm thinking uh, maybe later on down the line. I heard that Flying Miata makes turbo kits that are carb legal,
Ooh, that would be sick.
so maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I just
Okay,
like I said, just a little later on down the line.
right. Okay, that would be sick. How much do those be pushing? That kit? Do you know?
I haven't really looked into it too much. It was just like something I heard.
Okay,
But I think price is doable. Probably about $5,000-6,000 for a turbo kit from Flying Miata.
okay, that's not
But
too
I'd
bad.
have to look probably a little deeper into it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you go to the canyons and everything. How would you say the community is there? Because I know there's like communities everywhere, right? There's stands, track, and canyons. So I know a lot of people might want to
Right.
get in the canyons. Would you recommend people going into the canyons? Like, how's the community in that? What do you say?
Oh man. So I don't know too much about like really like that whole community.
Okay,
I kind of go for myself.
okay,
I
for
go
sure.
and take a cruise or whatever. If I had to say anything, and a lot of people are probably going to question me on that one, is I don't like to cross the mustard, as people say,
Mhm.
cross the lines. Um, you know, I am older, so it's more of a safety thing.
Yeah,
And
no,
like I said, I
100%.
have my kids and stuff. But I will say, almost every single time that I've gone and I've been
Mhm.
up there, people are great.
Really?
I always
That's
have a
good.
good conversation with whoever I meet up there, and we talk shop a little bit.
Mhm.
And I really never had a problem with anyone up there, to be honest with you.
It's good to hear for sure. Yeah, I know some other communities are a little bit toxic at times right there. So it's good to hear that there's good people out there still right there.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I've never had an issue with anyone up there. Everyone's really chill. I know I've seen accidents up there and stuff, so
Mhm.
like all I could say is like stay within your limits if you're gonna go up there.
No, 100%.
Um,
Yeah.
have fun if you'd like, but be safe.
Hmm.
There's people up there that go up there with their family and everything, so
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, me personally too. I sometimes go to the canyon, not too often. I just go to a small canyon right here in Turnbull. I don't know if you've been to Turnbull Canyon. It's just a little back roads right there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, some once in a while you'll see people like going stupid fast, like crossing over the lines and everything. Um, but yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
anyone's starting off, going to the canyon, just take it easy at first. That's what I did too. Just get the feel of it, huh, and everything like that. Any other advice that you would give somebody trying to get into it?
Yeah, I think so. I guess everything is.
Mhm.
everything's personal preference or what you want to do, right? Um, there's a time and place. You know, a lot of people that's why they go at night because there's no traffic and they can see oncoming lights and stuff like that. Um, time and place is pretty much kind of where I'd leave it. And then you go at
Yep.
your own risk. So, as long as you respect the mountain as much as it tries to respect you, I think you'll be okay.
Okay, for sure. I mean, yeah, that's about it on the questions,
Mhm.
but I did want to bring this little like last final segment that I want to call like lucky final 7. So these are like the final 7 questions that I got for you right here. So, first question would be
Okay.
what's your favorite part about the car community, whether that's like either on Instagram that you see or in the canyons? What's your favorite part? What do you say?
Oh man. Oh, that's tough.
Or you can do top 3, whatever you need.
Because there's a lot of negativity as well, but yeah, I think my favorite part pretty much about it is like regardless of your build or build type or anything, there is somewhat of a respect. At the end of the day, everyone who's into cars is
Yep.
spending money on their
Hmm.
car. So, I guess at the end of it is the respect. A lot of people respect each other, or they add. I have people that message me on Instagram from Greece,
Yeah.
for example,
Hmm.
if I have a problem with my car and I'll post it, they have no problem sending me links
Yep.
and all kinds of things to solve the issue. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
So there's love out there,
100%.
and I think that's the part I like about it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
totally agree with you. Like, even me, I've met people from all around the world. It's wild, like how Instagram and social media, especially, can just connect everybody with one passion
mm,
right there. It's crazy right there. Um,
yeah, it's pretty nice
yeah.
actually.
But second question, similar to the first one, but what's your least favorite part of the car
Mm.
community? What do you say?
Oh man, the least favorite part.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess like just in general, like as a person, I think I think everyone could agree it's really just the negative side of everything. I know there's people that, say respect all builds, and there's people that say, oh, fake whatever, fake wheels, fake whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I don't like the negativity in it. Everyone starts somewhere,
Yep.
and I think as long as they have the same passion, you can teach a younger generation or whatever it may be, uh, to have a better build. You know what I mean? I'm not saying mine's the best or anything like that by any means, but I built it for me,
Hmm.
and I guess I don't like the negativity in everything. I don't think we should be negative to each other. I think we should help build each other up. To be honest.
Good. Good. I respect that for sure right there. Yeah, there's a ton of negativity out there. But yeah, as long as you just stay positive, just stay in your own
Yeah,
lane too. Just do your thing right there, and you'll be good right there.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
but next question: what's your dream car? Any car that you would get,
Mhm.
or you can do like top 3. What's your 3 car garage right there? What's your
Oh
dream
man,
cars right there? I know that's a tough question.
dream car. Uh, you know, a lot of people have like high end dream cars and stuff like that. If I had to keep mine maybe within the limit of actually owning it, um, I always like the RX-7s, the FCs.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so it'd probably be one of those, something doable that I would actually really enjoy owning. Would probably be an RX-7 for sure. I
FC.
know a lot of people
FC.
say they're
Yeah.
not reliable, and there's always a negative end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like them. I like the body lines, the body style. It's just I love the car. It's great.
Okay. I respect that for sure. Okay. Next question. Again, similar to the last one. What's one car that you would just
Mm.
wipe out of the existence right there? What's one car that should just not exist right there?
Oh, again, again. Now we're dipping into that negativity thing. I
Hey,
don't
it
want
could
to
be a
do
smart car,
that.
whatever.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, so yeah, see, that's hard because you know, it's hard to say that because without bringing any kind of negativity because every car has its purpose. Everyone builds a car for a certain purpose. So, I mean, you can say, like, oh, this person has a Camry, right? For
Yeah.
example. But if they built it with purpose, it's not just a Camry. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that's tough to say. I really, I don't even want to, I don't even want to hate on a car, to be, to be
Okay,
honest
for
with
sure.
you.
All right, for sure.
I can't even hate on electric because I think electric is the future.
Yep, that's a new wave
Well,
right there.
for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, yeah, and without getting too many facts, because I'd have to look into them a little more. Um, electric might be kind of where everyone's going, anyways.
Yep.
Of course, I love the sound of of an engine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I can't say I hate a certain car, to be honest with you. I can't. I'm sorry.
You're all good. You're all good. I respect that answer right there. Okay, next question. What would you say, like, I mean, if you want to tell us too, what's your like biggest regret? Like maybe like in the car scene, of course. But what's your biggest regret? Whether you sold a car, maybe you bought the wrong part or something. What would you say that right there?
Okay, so biggest regret is probably selling my first car. Um, I know, like, under certain circumstances, like, you have to kind of move on or get rid of a certain car. But if I could go back in time, I would have kept my Integra. Maybe I would have bought another car, and if I had room for all of them, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But it was my first car, so I think everyone has a place, for their first car, regardless of what it was.
No, 100%. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this one might be a hard one too. So take your time on this one, or even if you want to answer it. Um, what would you
Mhm.
say is like controversial type of car opinion that you got? So it's kind of a tough one right there.
Oh man. Oh, yeah. I don't. Again, that's you're dipping into the
I stumped
negativity
you on
part
that
of it.
one. You're good, yeah.
But yeah, and it's because again, it goes back to, like, opinions, right? Like, everyone has an opinion on a certain car or a certain model or whatever. Maybe this engine's better than this engine. Um, kind of. My brother-in-law has a BMW. I have the WRX. I now have the Mazda. I had an FRS, and just kind of dipping in, or learning about different makes and models. Um, there's so much, controversy or negativity in the air between them.
Yeah,
It's Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could answer that one either, to be honest with you.
you're good.
There's a lot of, like I said, I try to be the positive side of everything. I don't really like to be negative. I used to be, and yeah, I can't really dip into that. I rather, let's push for positivity on all ends, and whether you stance your car or track, or you build it just because of the way you like the way it is, or what kind of car it is. Um, I wouldn't even want to bring up anything negative like that. Let's just keep it positive.
Okay, for sure. Okay, last question. What's some advice that you'll give to new car people, like people trying to get into cars? What's a little piece of advice, whether that's a little bit, a few of them, whatever you got right there?
Okay, so if I had to say something, it would be pretty much work hard. Like, personally, I always put everything ahead of cars. I love cars. I have a passion for them. I have a passion for my cars. I do put my family first. I would say work hard, make your money, and just save up for quality. If you're gonna start a car, save up for quality. You don't want to have to buy something twice, or buy something and it fails on you.
Yep.
I would say, try your best to get something of quality. Spend the extra $200 or $300 or whatever you need to get something you really like, instead of buying something just to get, a like or a comment, or, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
then, most of all, do it for you. You
Yep.
know,
That's a big one right there.
everyone has their own designs, or, like, to me, yeah, to me, like the Miata. like the way it looks right now with the stripe and the numbers on it, whatever. It's just it's art, you know. Like to me, everyone's car and everyone's design or build is their art piece.
You know,
So
that's a good way of putting it.
build your
Yep.
art piece, and if you're gonna invest in it, yeah, invest in your art. That's pretty much what I had to say.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, yeah, I respect that for sure. At the end of the day, it's your build, everybody's build right there. So do it for you. I like that. I mean, yeah. I
Right.
mean, is there anything else that you want to tell the people out there? I mean, where could they find you on Instagram too? If you want to give any shout outs, feel free right there.
Um, oh yeah, 100%. I have so I'm the Devil MX5
Yeah, I'll
on
pop it on the
Instagram,
screen too. Mhm.
and all right, and then do have a shout out. It's for AWD. My buddy Chris, he does raps and stuff. He helped with putting the Miata together,
Okay.
kind of the way it
They
looks.
did the whole stripe and the livery right there.
So yeah, if anybody needs a rap or anything, go ahead, hit me up, hit him up.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, he did, and good guy, and he's someone that you can
Okay,
work with.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you, Jay, for stopping by today. We appreciate you. Again, this is the first episode. There's gonna be many more episodes. Maybe a few months from now, a year from now, maybe we'll have you back. Maybe you get another car. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we
definitely.
appreciate you for stopping by.
All right, thanks so much for having me again.
All right, we appreciate you. Yeah. So for everybody listening, everybody watching, whatever you're doing, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive and dare to drive.